Thank you, everybody, for coming to the Aaron Torres Podcast YouTube page. If you could do me a quick favor, see that little subscribe button at the bottom of your screen? Go ahead, click that subscribe button. Really does help our channel grow, our audience grow, and I really do appreciate it more than you know. So click that subscribe button. Appreciate your support. Now, here's the video that you came here for. That's something that I've kind of factored in. Like when I know we talked about LSU, I know we talked about Ole Miss. It's like, are they facing an interim coach towards the back end of the season? How does that impact?
I'll throw one at you. Is Bobby Petrino going to be the interim coach at Arkansas the back half of the schedule in Fayetteville?
So I've told the day you could find the tweet, the day first of all, I think you might know this, you might not. I was in Fayetteville for the first time ever for the Duke Arkansas basketball game in December last year.
Yeah.
Well, it was the day Bobby Petrino got hired, and that city was on freaking fire, and they're beating the brakes off of Duke, and people are chanting, "We want Bobby." You know, like Bobby's got to do a curtain call from the box, and Sam Pittman's sitting there, and it's kind of awkward. I will say I have been told that I think Hunter Yurachek, if an interim is needed, would probably T. Will, the defensive coordinator. I think because of the fact that, like, if Bobby Petrino rips off like a 5-1 close to the season, and I don't think he would, but you know, do you want to put yourself in position where you got to hire him full time? Plus, you know, T. Will's been there, everybody likes him. I'm not saying I know, but what I am saying is you look at the front end of their schedule. You know, at Oklahoma State, at Auburn, Texas A&M on a neutral, and Tennessee all before a bye. Like, I have a buddy who's a Tennessee fan.
Losses.
Well, dude, I told him, I said, you might be looking at the Sam Pittman swan song there, because if they lose, because that Tennessee game going into a bye, you're 2-4 going into your bye. I think that's a convenient time to step aside. Let me actually one Arkansas thing, because
go for it.
Since we're talking hot seat, because this is something I've heard from the Arkansas people. Obviously, you know, like I said, I was down there. I'm pretty plugged in with some people down there. I'm just curious for your perspective, but we've seen Calipari. Listen, I know everyone's like, oh, Torres always makes everything about Calipari. He has gotten the boosters all rowing in the same direction, and we know that the money is flowing there. Mm-hmm. And my only question for you, if that job were to open, do you think there's somebody at maybe like a second-tier ACC school or second-tier? Like, I kind of feel like, I know it's Arkansas, they haven't had a ton of success, but listen, historically they're clearly not terrible, right? And the NIL money, I know we're going to rev share, but like, they're going to have whatever money is needed. If it's the right candidate, whatever money they need will be available to them. And I just feel like if that job opens up, I don't know who the name would be, but I could see somebody that you're like, oh, that guy's happy where he is, being like, I can go to the SEC and I basically have any NIL that I need. And I'm on the border of Texas and all the things. I don't know. I think that would be an interesting.
Walmart money, that Tyson money.
I was telling somebody this the other day. You walk around campus there, every building is the Walton School of Biology, the Walton. And so it's like, you know, the Tyson chicken stuff is insane, you know? So I know there's no way to really know, but I feel like that would be
two names.
Okay, go ahead.
Mike Gundy.
Ooh, you don't think? Go ahead. I'll just shut up.
Mike Gundy and Jimbo Fisher.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Jimbo Fisher made some comments.
Right before we got on air, I just saw Jimbo Fisher said something, and I don't know what it was that he said.
Pretty much paraphrasing, he's tired of sitting on the sidelines and ready to get back into coaching.
Wow.
I'm not surprised. Mike Gundy's been looking for a way out of Oklahoma State for years. He used to peddle Tennessee for new contracts all the damn time.
Well, that's what I was going to ask.
Could Mike Gundy finally get the exit? Not have to move far. And then, okay, Jimbo Fisher's been out of the game. Texas A&M, that was a lot. Let me get back in the game. Where's a good spot? Man, damn, I can go back to the SEC. I can go to Arkansas.
So you know the Mike Gundy stuff better than I do. Do you think that he wants to, like obviously, look, we're going to a world where, you know, the Big 12 is what it is. But do you think, you know, I'm just asking because every time, like when the thing came up about, hey, we're not negotiating during the season or whatever, I saw Tennessee fans like, oh, this guy's talking about negotiating during the season. So Do you think he really wants to leave, or do you think he just wants to keep leveraging every open job to get more money from his alma mater?
I think he's at a point now where he can't squeeze T Boone Pickens anymore for
No, I don't
for
think he can. Yeah.
no, I don't
I don't
think
know
he
how
can,
it
right?
works when you got to hit up the estate of of
Yeah,
the big
right,
donor. Yeah.
exactly. Like you can't do that anymore. Sorry. I think the comments that we've seen from Mike Gundy, and I've talked to a couple about this that are kind of close to him. I think he wants a new challenge.
Okay.
I think he's still at that age where
Sure.
he can go take over somewhere. I know jumping in, and we're using Arkansas as an example, but
It's a good
jumping
example.
into the SEC when the SEC is getting bigger and badder, and what does it actually look like in 5 years? Is there a super conference and all that shit? But I think at the same time, Mike Gundy is getting a little bit, I don't want to say tired, just ready for the next challenge. And
Yeah.
whatever that challenge is, because the Big 12, God bless, there's some awesome teams in the Big 12 that I love covering.
Careful.
Fantastic.
My alma mater might be a Big 12 team
I,
by the
I
time that
think
this conversation. So,
you're
but
good, but yes,
yeah,
and
no, no,
UConn will go in there, and it'll be UConn and Houston fighting for a national championship every year, and Arizona.
not in
Okay,
football, but yeah,
not in
that's fine.
no, hell no, not in football. Y'all worried about putting logos on fields right now.
There we go.
I do think I just feel like we have heard enough from Gundy over the last couple of years. That I think why not take a chance? And I'm not saying he will, and I'm not saying he's leaving Oklahoma State, but I am saying if somebody presented him an opportunity to maybe jump into the SEC, what better spot than Arkansas? Because he's not getting one of these high profile jobs in the SEC. So why not go get a mid tier job in the SEC?
No, no, no. That makes perfect sense. And you do wonder, guy towards the end of his career, one last push. I hate to use this as an example, but almost like Mike Leach, like late in his career, wanted
Yeah,
to challenge himself in the SEC, and unfortunately 9 wins in his last season at Mississippi State. But I could see that scenario where there's been a lot of back and forth, but it was always a power five. Now we know it's a power two. And that's kind of actually the perfect example of the guy that I'm talking about of,
right.
you think he's happy, but again, he sees that Walmart money, he sees that Tyson chicken money, and he sees an opportunity. And by the way, 12-team playoff right now, 5 SEC teams, 4 SEC teams going to get in every year. We may go to 16. We may eliminate auto bids. So like, I'm with you on that one.